I think most people hear words like blockchain, crypto, tokenization, AI, and tend to switch off. And I get it, because for too long this stuff has been explained badly. Too much jargon, too much hype, and in my opinion, not enough clarity. I'm Oliver. I've spent over a decade working inside financial services, fintech, and digital assets, and I've generally had the privilege to work with some of the most forward-thinking firms in this space. But throughout this time, one thing has always stood out to me, and that is the general lack of awareness in wider society of the genuinely transformative impact of these technologies and how they will affect most, if not all of us, throughout our lifetime. There is so much more to it than just Bitcoin and making speculative crypto investments. So I started this channel to make this knowledge accessible. I think for too long this information has been difficult to access and reserved only for those in certain roles and companies. What I want to do is to cut through the noise and give you the intelligence and information that actually matters, as best I can in plain English. So, let's get into it. There are two dates that every professional in the UK and EU needs to know about right now. The first has already passed, the 1st of July 2026. That's the date MiCA, the EU's comprehensive crypto regulation, moved from grace period into full enforcement. Any crypto business operating in the EU without authorisation after that date must stop. The second is coming, October 2027. That is when the FCA's new crypto regime goes live in the UK. The application gateway opens in September 2026, which means the window to prepare is right now. Now you might be thinking, if you don't work in crypto, why does this matter to me? Here's the thing, these frameworks don't just affect crypto companies. That's really important. They affect every law firm advising clients who hold digital assets, every accountancy practice whose clients have crypto on their balance sheet, every business that accepts digital payments, every compliance team in any regulated sector. Today I want to give you the clearest possible explanation of what these frameworks actually say and what they mean for professionals and businesses in the UK and EU. Let me give you the simplest possible way to understand what MiCA and the FCA regime actually do. Think about planning permission. Before planning permission existed, you could generally build whatever you wanted, however you wanted, and wherever you wanted. Some people built brilliant things, others built dangerous things, and there wasn't really a way for anyone to tell the difference until something went wrong. Planning permission changed that. It didn't stop building, but it just said, if you want to build here, you need to do it safely, you need to meet certain standards, you need to use certain materials. That is exactly what MiCA and the FCA regime do for crypto. They don't ban it, they don't shut it down, they simply say, if you want to operate in this space, you need authorisation and you need to meet certain standards. And just like planning permission, the rules apply not just to the builders, but to everyone who works with them. The architects, the surveyors, the solicitors, the accountants. That is why this matters to you, even if you've never bought a single cryptocurrency ever in your life. Let me walk you through MiCA first, because it is already in force and the implications are immediate. MiCA, Markets in Crypto Assets, is the EU's comprehensive regulatory framework for digital assets. It covers crypto asset service providers, exchanges, brokers, custodial wallets, lending platforms, tokenization platforms. Really any business offering these services to EU customers needs MiCA authorization. But here's the part that catches people out. Non-EU firms are not exempt. If you're a UK business serving EU customers, you're in scope. If you're building a product EU residents will use, you're in scope. The regulation follows the customer, not the company's location. For stablecoin issuers specifically, MiCA requires one-to-one reserve backing, monthly public disclosure of reserves, and CEO and CFO certification of those disclosures. This is institutional grade accountability applied to digital money for the first time. The grace period ended on the 1st of July 2026. National regulators across the EU are now in active supervision and enforcement mode. It's not a future concern, it's a very real present one. Now, the UK. The FCA's new crypto regime is structured similarly to MiCA, but with some important differences. The regime covers stablecoin issuance, crypto trading platforms, staking, lending, borrowing, intermediaries, and certain decentralised finance related activities. Firms doing any of these will need FCA authorisation or a variation of permission if they are already authorised for other activities. The timeline, pre-application meetings with the FCA started recently, May 2026, and the application gateway opens in September 2026. The regime goes live in October 2027. That sounds like a lot of time, but it's not. FCA authorisation processes are slow, expensive, and notoriously bureaucratic. Firms that start their preparation in 2027 will unlikely be ready by October 2027. Quick pause. If you're finding this useful, please hit subscribe. Every week I cover exactly this kind of shift in plain English. It really helps the channel grow. Back to it. So practically, what does this mean for different professionals? If you're a lawyer, your clients are going to need advice on whether their activities fall within the FCA or MiCA perimeter, whether they need to be authorised, what the different rules require, how they interact, how to structure their operations to comply. This is a new area of practice that is growing really fast. The firms that build this capability now will have a significant advantage. If you're an accountant, your clients who hold digital assets, issue tokens, or operate crypto-related businesses have new disclosure and reporting obligations. Understanding what those obligations are and how they interact with existing accounting standards is becoming a core competency. If you're in a business that touches digital assets in any way, even accepting crypto payments, holding stablecoins in treasury, or using tokenized products, you need to understand whether your activities fall within the regulatory perimeter. The cost of getting this wrong is significant. And if you work in compliance, the new frameworks create specific obligations around AML, KYC, market abuse, and consumer protection. Understanding how these interact with your existing compliance framework is urgent. What I've given you today is the framework, the shape of what is coming. The specific detail for your situation most likely requires a professional, thorough assessment. But what I can tell you is this: the direction is clear, the timelines are set, and the organisations that start building their understanding now, rather than waiting for the final rules, will be significantly better positioned than those that don't. The rules have changed. The question is whether you're ready. Look, this stuff is moving fast, and the gap between the people who understand it and the people who don't is only getting wider every day. That's why I'm here, and that's why this channel exists. If you found this episode useful, then please hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it helps more people find exactly the type of content we've been discussing today. Now, if you want to keep up with what's happening more broadly, then please subscribe. Every week I put out content that discusses exactly the kind of shifts that we've been talking about today. If you want to go deeper than YouTube allows, then please head over to our website, linked in the description below. You can book a bespoke coaching session directly and over time access structured training materials. No hard sell, no spam, just the right conversation and the right information at the right time. I'm Oliver and this is Read Between the Blocks. I'll see you next week.